Hi everyone, welcome to Mr. Dear Dog channel. If you are new to my channel, please watch the other interesting videos from ASP.NET Core and Angular playlist. In the last session, we discussed about environments in ASP.NET Core. Please go through that video for more understanding. In this session, we'll discuss about how to add the logging capabilities to ASP.NET Core applications. By default, ASP.NET Core will provide console, debug, event source, and event logging capabilities. There are many other third-party logging providers as well. In the upcoming session, we will try to configure one of the third-party logging providers that is called Elma. And as part of the upcoming session, we'll talk about how to configure application insights as well. Okay, let's begin the working session. In this session, we'll try to see how to configure the built-in logging provider event log into our application. There is one limitation if we talk about event log. Event logs will be supports only the Windows applications. If we wanted to add the capabilities of cross platform support, then we need to go for either of these third-party applications, or if you have Azure provider subscription, then choose the Azure application insights as well. In our upcoming session, we'll discuss about how to configure the Azure application insights in detail. If you are following my videos, this is our working session project. Let me go back to Solution Explorer, Employee Information Project. If you scroll down, here we can see an JSON file called application settings.json. Here there were two sections available. One is logging and one is connection string. As part of our entity framework session, we discussed about how to configure the SQL connection string and how to read the SQL connection string with the help of iConfiguration Builder. Now we'll talk about logging. If you see, by default, whenever you create an application, we can see a logging provider with the available log level as well. Here by default, it will logs the information and warnings from the Microsoft, and the host environment is like microsoft.hosting.lifetime, which will help us to configure or log the information. Okay. Now in this session, we'll try to configure the event logs. Okay. If you are planning to configure the event log, the first step is like open the program.cs file, expand the create host builder. Here, here we have one more extension method, configure logging, which will take the actions of responsibilities. First action is we need to clear the default providers, and in the action dot we can see the list of available log providers. We can see add console, add debug, add event log, add trace source. These are the multiple log providers are available. As discussed in the previous slide, in this session we will try to work with event log. In the event log, if you see, there were three extension methods. The second extension method is like we need to configure the event log settings. Okay. Now we'll add this event log settings. First, for the event logs, we need to set up the source name. I'm just naming it as the source name as my logs. With this step, we are able to add the event log capabilities to our ASP.NET Core application. Okay. We need to follow the three simple steps to configure the event log capabilities to our ASP.NET Core application. The first step is like try to open the program.cs. In the create host builder lambda expression, add the one more extension method, that is configure logging. First, we need to clear the all available providers. The second thing is whatever the logging capabilities you are trying to add that action name. Now we are planning to add the event log capabilities, where we can see all these event log capabilities in the event viewer. Okay, I will show you how the event logger will display our events and all. Okay. Now we are having a source name that is called my logs. The second step is like come back to one of the employee information control which we are working currently, and we'll add that logging capabilities to one of the method, that is list of employees. The source code is very simple. We are trying to establish the external connection. That's the reason I'm this I'm trying to dispose that once we are done with the logging. We have a method called event log, which will take the source name, my logs, that is our source name. This is our source name. And before writing in any entry, make sure that your sources exist or not. To verify that, event log contains one more extension method, source exists. Okay. And our source name is mylogs. I'm copying this mylogs source name. We need to make sure that before writing any entry, we need to make sure that our sources exist or not. If source is not exist, then try to create one of the source from the event viewer. That is, event log itself contains one of the extension method, create event source, which will expect two parameters. The first parameter is, if you see the second overload method, which is expecting source name and the log name. Okay, I'm keeping the source name is my logs, and the log name is like employee info, because currently we are dealing with the employee information controller. That's the reason I'm keeping employee info as the log name. If you overrun it, okay, it clearly shows this call site is reachable on platform. Event log is only supported on Windows. In our previous slide, we discussed about this limitation of event log. That's the reason we can go with the any one of the other third-party providers, or you can use one of the Azure provider application insights as well. In our upcoming session, we'll discuss about in detail how to configure the application insights and what are the prerequisites to configure the application insights, and where we can check all the available traces in that. These were the two simple steps to verify whether the source is exist or not. If the source is not exist, then we'll create the source. The other two lines, the first mandatory line is, first we need to assign the source name. The event log contains the other extension methods as well. If you see here, a write entry is there, and we can clear the entries as well. We can close the connection as well, and we can be able to use the dispose as well, because this is external connection. Once we are done with this writing, the once we are done with the event writing, then we need to dispose the connections. That's the reason we can see all the available extension methods as well. Here we can be able to set the source, machine name, and everything. Write entry, write event. These are the two methods which we will use regularly. Currently, I am trying to write one entry, that is, currently the execution is in list of all employees. With this, we are done with the source code. Okay. Let me recap. The first step is like open the program.cs and add the logging capabilities. The second step is like come back to our employee information control or whatever the control you are trying to add these capabilities. Instead of placing this source code, it's better to add. It's better to create one interface and try to inject this interface. Use wherever you want. Like if you see here, we have an interface IEmployeeDB services which takes the responsibility of the CRUD operations. Like this, create one interface for handling the logging capabilities. Okay, if you do that, then this application will fall under the solid principles. Okay? This is the simple source code, and just save it. Come back to the third and last step is like come back to app settings.json. If you see currently it supports logging capabilities. Now adding event log capabilities which expect log level. Okay. I'm copying this entire object properties information and pasting here to save some time. With this, we are done with the adding the logging capabilities to the ASP.NET Core applications. Okay. Please remember, we followed three simple steps. The first step is like we added the logging capabilities to the program.cs file. The second step is like we have given this write entry capabilities to the one of the employee information controller. The last step is like we have added the and we have given the capability of logging the event log capability as well. Like this, we can be able to add event log, and there were other capabilities as well. That is console and debug as well. Let me show you the other there are other options as well. If you see here, we can see console, debug, and event source. There were other three inbuilt capabilities present from the ASP.NET Core. Okay. Let me just run this application and see whether we were able to see the event viewer or not. In the upcoming session, we'll discuss about ELMA exception, like how to configure ELMA exception to the our employee information project, and what are the prerequisite and what is the syntax and all. We'll discuss in detail in our upcoming session how to configure the ELMA exception in employee information. Okay. First, it will try to configure our logging. It will add the log name is employee information and the source name is my logs. And once this is successful, then the request will be routed back to our employee information controller. Let me go back to and see browser request. If you remember, the port number is different than the default port number because we enabled the SSL port. That's the reason the default port overridden with the SSL port number 44354. We discussed about this SSL port in our previous video in detail. If you expand Solution Explorer and open launch settings.json file, here we can see this localhost port number 44354. By default, the application URL will be localhost 36458, but it will override with the SSL port number. In our previous video, we discussed about this profiles information also in detail. If you see, debugger came to list of employees information. First, it will check whether the event viewer, that event log source is exist with the name mylogs or not. If it is there, then it will try to attach the source mylogs and log name is employee information, and we are trying to add one entry to the event log. If you go to event viewer and refresh this employee information page, we can see a log with the, if you see here, there are number of logs written into the event viewer. This is the way we can write our insights into the event viewer. Okay. With this, we were able to add event viewer capabilities to the ASP.NET Core application. Let me just summarize this, whatever we discussed so far. Okay. We followed three simple steps to configure the event log source. The first step is like in program.cs, we configured the event log capabilities. With this, we were able to add the event log capabilities to the ASP.NET Core application. That is our employee information project. If you see, the log name is employee information and the source name is my log. And the next step is like, okay, whatever the controller you want to add, just to open that controller. And this is the piece of code which we are currently using to write one entry. Okay, instead of hard coding this, to use instead of hard coding this, and for the reusability, try to create one interface and resolve the dependencies and use wherever you want to log this entries information. The third step is like in the app settings.json, we were able to add the event log capabilities as well. These were the three simple steps we followed to log the event log capabilities. And once we are done with this, we were able to add the all logs in our employee information. Thanks for your